What's up, Mindful Morning Minutes? Welcome. Good morning. Today, we're going to be talking about a super amazing, well, we're going to be doing something amazing because we're going to be opening up to love. Like, ooh, we're going to be opening to love. You're like, uh-oh, I don't know. That sounds scary. No, it's not scary. It's amazing and it's beautiful and you're going to love it. So really excited to get into this. But before we do, I want to remind you guys about our 4-week challenge starting March 1st. And we posted a link. We'll post the link again. And that's just a place where you can put in your email and we'll just send you email updates on when we're starting, what's going on. We'll give you extra info, give you good stuff. And it's pretty awesome. We're going to be 4 weeks of honoring your body. It's going to be really easy, really gentle, but it's going to help you feel amazing. So we're going to be tackling different subjects each week and just giving you just a few minutes of information each day that'll just help you get some things going in there and really help you make some amazing subconscious changes and changes to your body and really allowing you to honor your body. And so as February is the season of love, we're going to be doing a couple more topics here in February on love. And that's why today we are going to be opening ourselves up to love.
Yes. And, I just want to share a quick story that it comes to mind when you think of love. I think we all think about the first love that we knew, and that's the family, the home that we were born into, our parents, most likely. And, my parents, when I started really thinking about this and thinking, why am I the way I am? And my patterns around relationships and how I kind of view, give and receive love. And my parents were very, very affectionate growing up. They were affectionate with each other, very openly in front of anyone, everyone. They were affectionate with us. They expressed love verbally, very easily, comfortably. They were very comfortable with their bodies. And they encouraged a lot of human growth and really human potential things into our family setting before it was even popular to do so. They were always focusing on love and how important that is, and how your family, that's your first relationship. And then everything else kind of comes second to that. They focused on even memory skills and people skills and always on building each other up. And I didn't really think much of this because I didn't know anything else. This was how I grew up. This is what I thought love looked like, what love felt like, how to give and receive love. And then as I got older, I started seeing in the people I was in relationship with and my friends and other people I knew. And it was so eye-opening. I almost remember the exact moment that I realized, wow, everyone didn't grow up this way. Your parents didn't hold hands. They didn't kiss each other. They didn't, talk about love and share their affection out loud. And I didn't even know how much that I had to be grateful for and how much that truly benefited me, because I just took it for granted for a long time, thinking that's how everyone experienced love and growing up. And now I just have this great admiration and respect for my parents' vulnerability and how even at times of stress, they fell into each other instead of getting stressed and pulling away from each other. And that was so important for me to learn growing up. And that's why we really want to talk about this opening to love today. And this is opening to all the types of love in your life. And that includes your relationship with yourself. So if you're thinking, I'm already married, or I'm not in a relationship, this still completely applies to you, because it's a constant process of forgiving ourselves and opening ourselves to loving all the parts of us. And this, of course, starts in those early relationships but then it can create patterns for the rest of our lives. And we don't have to stay stuck in those patterns. We can shift and change that at any time because we are no longer that little child. We are no longer in that situation. So those things can be shifted and changed. And, one thing that comes to my mind when thinking about this is that we all kind of want this, the movie love, if you will. It's like that love at first sight and fall so deeply and everything's, we all want that, right? But what is that we see on the movies? What is that we're really wanting? And I think what it is that we're really wanting is we're wanting a love that is unconditional. It's not based on how we look or if we had a bad day or any of those things. It's truly unconditional, and it encourages vulnerability and has this absolute trust that opens the doors to intimacy. And at times I feel like society can really bring some confusion to us around what love should be, what it is, what it looks like, how to give it, how to receive it. And we see these movies and everything can look so perfect. And then we have relationships in real life and they don't always go like that. It's not always love at first sight. And, it's this skewed view sometimes on what love is and what it really can be. And if we all take the time to really do our self-work, and this includes forgiveness, loving ourselves fully, then we can more easily and effortlessly be vulnerable enough to truly open to love from others. And this is part of Earl and I's mission, to bring this to you, to everybody, as many people as we can, so that people can have more ease and success in their relationships. And that even includes the one with themselves, with romantic relationships, obviously, and every other type of relationship as well. I mean, can you imagine if when you were very young, if this was taught in school and you were taught in school immediately how to forgive yourself for that bad grade, that project that you didn't turn in on time, that, things that are said, right? It's like if we were taught self-forgiveness from a young age and as part of school, and then we were taught how to love, how to recognize love, how to give love, how to receive love, think how different life would be today. And those are really important things. So just, thinking about how that would have changed your life and knowing that it's not too late.
Yeah, if only I would have just turned in that science fair project. I swear, plants only grow this big. Like, I planted it like the minute before the thing. Like, it's just a bean. But yeah, when we talking about love, and I think it's good to first even start with kind of the for all our single people out there, or people looking for love. Really, what are you really looking for, and are you really looking for someone else? And how is that really manifesting in your life? Are you kind of frozen in fear from the past? Like, there was like all these past relationships that didn't work out. Well, or is it, there's this pattern even from childhood, like Julie was saying, you saw certain ways that love was expressed and it wasn't really love, or it was, some sort of, maybe there was like a negative relationship and, they were just there together because there was a kid, how are you modeling those same behaviors? So you have to kind of step back and be like, okay, what is the love I want? And what type of person do I need to be to kind of to attract that same partner that has that? So when we're in the state of fear of a relationship, or we're always going to be kind of projecting into the future, like this like weird future for ourselves that hasn't happened, that's blocking us from a new relationship. So we want to make sure that we are, we have like a positive expectation, for one, because like a positive expectancy is how we create more abundance in our life. If we're always like fearful of whatever's coming around the corner, we're kind of like always like, and we'll miss the opportunities that actually do present themselves. So, these same patterns, if you've had like kind of negative patterns in the past in relationships, have you ever noticed them kind of continuing to happen again? Like, just boom, boom, like, I always meet the exact same person. Well, why is that? Is it because there's some sort of lesson in there that we haven't quite learned or haven't quite grabbed onto? because we seem to attract the same person. Or maybe it's we are acting as the same person, and so we are attracting the same type of people. So what sort of things can we work on within ourselves to attract a different type of person? And that's something that's really important to think about, especially if you're searching for this kind of searching for someone or searching for your other half, right? They say like your other half. Well, I say search for your other whole. Be a complete, full, whole, happy person. And then when you meet another whole, happy, full person, well, you're going to really mesh with them, because if you're like, oh, like I need another half, there's half of me missing. And then you find that person, they're like, oh, well, I feel complete and I'm happy, but I would like to have someone in my life. You're like, no, you were supposed to be my other half. It wouldn't work out, would it? So that's why for any kind of, if you're single, like I would say, create the best you with the most love for you. And that itself will help finally bring that into your life. Those things that you may feel are missing, but I think once you stop feeling like it's missing, then it will actually just find you. So that's kind of some ideas I wanted to throw around in your head to help you kind of open up. Do you have kind of like just a tendency to wait also? Like maybe you're like, oh, well, if I have the perfect body, then I'll find the perfect person. Or like, oh, once I have done this, then I can focus on this part, right? That's really kind of a freeze response if you think about it. That's as we always talk about, this fight, flight, or freeze. It's really just a triggered response. Like, okay, I'm actually going to put it away because I'm really scared of it. Again, it's just one of those fear responses that we have to be aware of, because, well, if we're just like kind of stuck in a cycle, it's really hard to see when you're stuck in a cycle. Well, when someone kind of points out like little things, and you're like, oh crap, I guess, yeah. Oh, I guess my last 5 relationships were the exact same person. It's like, huh. And none of them worked out. Well, what was I searching for? What were they searching for? Why didn't it work out? Right? We need to stop and actually kind of address what's going on. It's like, what lesson was, like, if there was some sort of cosmic something that drove me into this, what was it that brought these lessons out for me? And what are those lessons? And that's really one of the big ideas when it comes to any, to any of these things, is like like what is the lesson that I should like that to be brought here? And the lesson is never that you're worthless. It's usually like, someone didn't see your worth, or you didn't fully see your worth, and thus you created a scenario where they didn't see your worth either. So that's why we talk about self-love being really the greatest thing to opening up to love to others. Opening up to love is first from that self-love. And if you're full, complete, happy, whole within yourself, then you'll meet more people that are happy, whole, full, complete within themselves.
Yes, absolutely. And if you're sitting there and thinking, well, I'm already in a relationship, or I'm already married, or maybe I've been married for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, right? But even if you're already married, even if you're already in that relationship, asking yourself, are you really, truly, fully open to love? Are you giving and receiving love fully? And do you have what you were looking for, what you were dreaming for, that the magic that you see in those movie moments that you were wanting? It's not just how perfect and serendipitous things are, but there's really what's under there that you're looking for. And that's obviously most times trust, vulnerability, and the trust and vulnerability lead to the intimacy. And that's what we're all kind of seeking in our relationship. So in asking yourself, could there be more love in your relationship? Could you open to love more? And could you give love more? Is there room to grow? Are you fully happy in your relationship? Because we all want to feel supported. We all want to feel heard and loved in our relationships. And that means it's important for us to offer those same things to our partners. So kind of looking at that, as we talked about last episode, looking at that 5-to-1 ratio, looking at the interactions, the feelings that are taking place, and where's the focus? Is it on the negative or the positive? And in order to feel as close as we can to someone, that's the movie love. That's what we're feeling in the movies. It's like we want that type of love where you could just close your eyes and fall back, right? And know that you were going to be caught, that that person, that partner, that lover has your back no matter what. And today, I think many relationships seem almost like two people standing alone together in the same house, and often sharing space, but can be at time passing ships, both with their own to-do lists and their careers and their focus, and then the household duties that are shared. And it's more of just getting through the days. And when life gets stressful for these people, then it can cause more strain on our relationships in those situations. And that makes sense. And for most people, these relationship patterns, as we've talked about, stemmed from childhood. So if you're in a marriage or a relationship, you can just simply bring awareness to the parts of it that maybe aren't exactly what you want. And if you experience those in childhood, give yourself permission to shift out of that, because you're not that child anymore. So you don't need that pattern anymore. It's okay to open up, to trust, to be vulnerable. And you can do this at any time. It is never, ever too late. Even if, like, let's say if you grew up in a home where your parents were really verbally and physically affectionate, they were showing love to each other, they were showing love to you, they were expressing love, then that might come easy to you. But maybe it doesn't to your partner. Maybe they didn't have that experience. Maybe they quite possibly grew up in a home where no one really expressed their love verbally. There might have been the I love you when people left, but if maybe they never saw their parents holding hands or kissing or expressing affection to them or to each other. And so you have to realize that it might be things that you can help by you being trusting, you being vulnerable, that you can help to open up more of that in your partner and in your relationship. So it's a team thing, working together and coming back to that. And I think the more stress people are in, just in our busy society, day to day, we have more stress than in previous times, with everything going on in the world, with things going on with career. Most households are a double career household with children. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot to take on. And just thinking how different it would feel if the stress wasn't kind of the pulling apart or causing issues, but if the stress brought more vulnerability and more trust in this falling into each other. How great would that feel? And it's really the trust and vulnerability that lead to the intimacy. So all of those things are very, very important in a relationship. And it can be things that can be opened up at any time. So if you just ask yourself for a moment, do you feel safe in your current relationship? Are you comfortable expressing your true desires, your fantasies in life and intimacy? Can you be completely vulnerable and let down your emotional and physical shields with your partner? And it's okay if some of your answers to these things, if you're knowing the answer and almost feeling or wishing that it were the other way, because it's not too late. Just the awareness, you can change this, and you can make that first step. You can take the first step to shifting that. And one way that you can do that, and we encourage you to take these action steps and just take a moment to tell your partner, you know what? I know you really like to do this, this, and this. Maybe you like to do your workout in the morning, and normally I don't join you for that, but let's pick something. And one time this week, I want to join you for that exercise. I want to go for that jog or to that fitness class or that yoga class. And then in return, I really enjoy taking this cooking class or doing this meditation, and I would love for you to join me. So that's one way to really start opening up this vulnerability, this coming back together and building that strong bond. So take time to connect with your partner, and just one time a week, each of you can commit to being involved in something together that person enjoys. So you're both getting your needs met, but getting to share that and have that bonding experience, which will help to open up the vulnerability, the trust, and the intimacy. And continue from last week, we recommended continue doing the eye-to-eye connection, where you just look into each other's eyes for 2 minutes and share with each other what you love about each other. And that is a great way to improve this as well. And we just want to remind you that this type of love, the dream love, this feeling of completely being able to close your eyes and fall and be caught, have someone who's there with you that you can fall into in stressful times. It's completely achievable, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're not in a relationship, whether you simply are just realizing that maybe you need more love for yourself and more forgiveness. And it doesn't matter. I don't care if you've been married 40, 50 years. There's always room to open up to a little bit more love. It's never too late. And just mentioning that self-love, as we've touched on, is really the basis for all love. And if you can use more support in this area, then check out our video. In January, we did a show on self-love, and there's a great meditation to help you to just embrace that more. And now we're going to do just a short meditation to bring your unconscious mind open up to this love now. So just go ahead, and if you are somewhere where it is safe to do so, then allow yourself to find a comfortable place where you can fully rest and relax and just let go. Completely let go of everything in the here and now, and allow yourself to just be in the present moment. Tune in to your breathing, taking in 3 deep breaths. And as you take in these deep breaths and exhale fully, doing a body scan. That's right, just scanning your body from head to toe and toe to head. And anywhere in your mind or your body where you find any tension, any constant thoughts, just releasing and letting it all go. Letting it all go for now so that you can move into that deeply, deeply relaxed place within. And taking yourself there now, going deeper and deeper. And as you do, as you move into this deeply relaxed state with clarity of mind, start to think about the higher power for you. What is that divine higher power? Is it your higher self? Maybe angels, creator, guide, source, whatever it is for you, but just start to feel that connection, that opening growing stronger and stronger. Feeling that tingling at the top of your head, even above the top of your head, that allows you to know that you are open and this connection is being reinforced. And if you can imagine whatever it is for you, if it's your higher self, your guides, your angels, creator, if you can just imagine as if there were their hands reaching down and both of their hands are open. And right now in this moment, you can choose to allow yourself to surrender, to completely surrender and let go of all of the things that have been blocking you from opening to love completely. And if that sounds like something that you're open to, then as I mention each thing, just simply say yes. Yes to handing this over to that higher power and letting them take it. First, focusing on all fears, giving them all of your fears, fears based on the past, fears and worries about the future, and any other fears around love, opening to love. Just say yes and see yourself handing those over, surrendering those to that higher power. And feeling a little lighter. And now pulling up any and all limiting beliefs, any patterns, anything at all from childhood or past relationships. Pulling up those thoughts, those feelings, those interactions, those experiences, and just handing those over. And if you're ready to do that, just saying yes now and see yourself surrendering and handing those over. And now pulling up any feelings of anger, resentment, frustration, any feelings that are negative in your current relationship and past relationships, pulling up all those events, feelings, interactions, thoughts, and simply saying yes if you are ready to surrender them and handing them over now. Handing over any freeze response, any response that is saying that you need to wait. Wait for the perfect time, the perfect event, the perfect anything. Just saying yes if you are ready to hand that over and let that go, surrendering it now and letting that go. And now, if you are ready to allow in a sense of forgiveness, forgiveness of others, of yourself, just simply saying yes now and allowing that higher power, that divine support to just take those experiences with love and compassion. And feeling that forgiveness taking place. And now, if you are ready to step in to your vulnerability, to your vulnerable and brave self, saying yes. Yes, and being supported, feeling this divine support all around you. And if there's any pride that has been blocking, saying yes and handing that over, surrendering that as well right now. And as you are surrounded in this divine support, feeling loved, being your strong, warrior, vulnerable, brave self, and just saying yes to love, saying yes to trusting, saying yes to intimacy, saying yes to letting all those shields, blocks go now. Taking a deep breath and now tuning again to your body again and noticing when you think of love, it can be just bring someone to mind that you love so much. Get the image of their face in your mind and notice where in your body do you feel that love? Is it in your heart, in your mind, somewhere else? Noticing where you feel love. And now going to that place in your body and allowing yourself, as if you could look inside that area of your body and see 4 doors. And the first door is to abundance. And just opening that door now, opening that door all the way and allowing love to flood in there. Maybe it comes in as a pink light, a golden light, or some other color completely. But see that light flooding in, the image coming through that door. And now moving slightly over to that next door. This is the door of family and friendship. And opening this door, even to strangers. And letting that love in, letting that love come flooding in, opening to the giving and receiving of love for friendships, family members, coworkers, and strangers. And seeing that come in, however it does, the giving, the receiving, the moving of energy in and out, and moving now to the third door. This is the romantic love. And when you're ready, opening this door and opening it wide, and seeing however that comes in for you, this giving, this receiving, this abundance of love. Feeling so strong in your vulnerable, brave self. Feeling the trust. And now that last door, that door there at the center of you, the door for self-love, opening that door now, allowing that image, that light to flow in and flow through. And this is the deepest, deepest connection at the core of you. That love, compassion, kindness. And as these doors are opening, feeling that whole entire area of your body now, full of that color of love, that energy of love, and that openness. And notice how different that feels. Notice the lightness, the feeling of oneness and connection to the universe, to all people, to yourself, to your partner, to the partner that is on its way to you. And now go ahead, and whenever you're ready, just allow that color of love to fill your entire body, to surround you, expanding and moving out as far as you can imagine, and coming back whenever you're ready, completely open to love. Coming back now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and eyes open, wide awake. Thank you, everybody, for being vulnerable with us and opening to love to yourself, others, the relationships you're already in, and we are looking forward to seeing you all next week.
Thanks for joining us and being willing to open yourself up to love. And that's really a beautiful thing. And thank you so much, Julie. That was awesome. I experienced it with everyone, and I feel really good. So hopefully the rest of you also got to experience that. Sending love to all of you for joining us, and thank you. And we'll see you guys next week.
We'll see you then.